Okay, here we are again. Guys, I missed you. How are you? How is everybody? I want to adjust this a little bit. Hold on a second. Good morning, everyone. All right. Okay, we're good now. So good morning, everyone. I see people joining in Instagram. Thanks for joining me this last episode of this series that we've done through to the navigating through the storm. It's been so much fun, and it's come to an end like everything else, but it will be the beginning of other things, hopefully a beginning of new changes and opportunities and things that you will see for yourselves. Uh, so let's just start, but we always start as people load up. I'm just gonna grab something really quick, but let's just start by doing our 30 seconds of silence for, the things that are happening in the world right now, okay? All right, let's get started. First of all, let me start by telling you how grateful I am that I had the opportunity to share some of my life, some of my experiences, some of the things that I want to make sure that is everybody. Can everybody hear me? Can someone say something on Instagram? You can hear me, please. I just want to make sure because I'm using my earpods on Instagram and I'm going on Zoom without it. So you guys can hear me well, right? Okay, perfect. Thank you, Laura. Always can count on you. Laura's my assistant. She's amazing. And then let me see here. Okay, perfect. So we're good. All right. So I want to start by, again, being grateful for you guys joining, for your patience, for listening all the crazy things I have to say. It's been a super fun ride. I get to share some of the stuff, and it's also a reminder for me of all the things that I already know that sometimes, we forget and we tend to, uh, practice for a little bit, and that's when consistency is important. And me doing this helps me remind myself of all the things that I practice in my life, and they have worked beautifully in my life. And those are things that I wanted to share with you and see if you guys can rescue out of any of those, pearls of wisdom, something that can help you. So, you know, um what I want to do now, because this is the last episode, and I am in works of starting new things, and through my YouTube channel, which, as you all know, Santiago Arana Official. There are two of them. One is not working, but one is the one that works, is the one that has the picture of myself with a white shirt and a leather jacket. Okay, so that's the one that you want to go. I'm going to be uploading some stuff in there when I'm going to be doing seminars and talks, and perhaps start a new, webinar like the one that we just had in Navigating Through the Storm. But perhaps we pick a different topic. And also through my Instagram account, I'm going to be updating a lot of stuff. So, what I want to do today is just basically discuss, and we're going to do a lot more Q&As today, because I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of questions. So, but what I want to cover is how do we go back to normal? I mean, thank God things are settling, at least here where I live in Los Angeles, things are getting a little bit back to normal. People are starting to go out, restaurants open up, limited, but they started to open up. So it's nice to go out and feel normal again, have the ability to go and eat at a place where someone's cooking for you other than you, or have a drink that someone made it for you other than you. Not that we are bad drink makers or anything like that, but it's just nice to order something and get it brought out to you. So having said that, there's going to be, of course, a lot of challenges still. I don't think that the whole pandemic is over, and I don't think it's going to be over that quick. Uh, we still need to be careful. And then also, the economy, is going to have some hiccups, and you need to be prepared for it. And by doing this, we prepared and we learned that, we don't have control over the pandemic. We don't have control over the financial situation and a lot of those things, but we do have control of our actions. We do have control of what we think and what we choose to think, what we choose to read, what we choose to learn, what we choose to speak out of our mouth, because all that eventually gets you to control your thoughts. And when you control your thoughts, you can control your destiny. We talk about that a lot, but what I want to do here is just to make sure that what we discuss here, these last 10, 11 weeks that we've been doing this, at least there is something that you can grab from that and can help you to go through this and go through any other challenges that life will bring, because that's what life is. It's a accumulation of challenges and good things, right? You have good moments, you have a lot of successes, but you also have a lot of failures, and that's what life is about. So let's apply what we discussed these last few weeks. Let's and I know a lot of you guys start applying, because I get a lot of feedback, a lot of nice text messages, emails, nice messages over Instagram on people applying it and having great results, and that makes me so happy, so happy to hear that. So let's apply that. The message today is, let's apply what we learn. Let's keep consistency. Let's don't drop this. Not because there's not another class next week means that, okay, this is over. I mean, this is a reminder that you need to continue to do these things. You need to continue to visualize. You need to continue to read the books that we recommended. You need to continue to meditate. You need to continue to wake up every day and feeling grateful about this beautiful day. Every day is a gift. Life is a gift. And every day when you wake up, I mean, I jump out of my bed early in the morning, excited for this new day that is going to bring new experiences, that's going to get you, use your emotions and the opportunities that life brings and the challenges they bring. Just welcome them too, welcome those challenges that they will help you become a better person, become a better individual. I mean, we go through life and we come and experience life. We're spiritual beings that we experience life through this human body. We're not humans that come and have a spiritual experience here. We're spiritual beings, or at least I believe that we're spiritual beings, that we come to earth to experience a human life. And what's that like? Okay, so let's make the best we can out of this trip. So how do we go back to normal? I mean, we're going to go back to normal. What does that mean? Does that mean that we're going to go back to do the exact same things that we were doing before this all happened? I don't think so. I think that that has happened for a reason. And I mean, at least for me, it's taught me many things, right? It's taught me mainly to kind of refocus on all these things, to refocus on the things that are important and I have control over it. Is mainly refocus on get even closer to my family, to my wife, to my children, to enjoy with my mother, who's here. She's been here through the whole pandemic. And, it's taught me to spend more quality time with them and don't rush and race so hard all the time on the next house, on the next level, on the next this. I mean, I'm not telling you become complacent, but perhaps work smarter. I noticed that I can be a lot more effective and more productive without having to be working 14 hours a day. Maybe I work a few less hours, but I'm more productive, more to the point, without getting distractions. Sometimes we go through the day, and if you start counting the hours that you actually are productive, are a lot less than the hours that you spent out there, So perhaps it's that. Perhaps it's knowing how to work more effectively. Also, to learn about, be more compassionate with the things that are happening in the world. To teach your children, if you have children, to how to be more compassionate, to how not to be racist, and all these issues that we've been dealing with, how they can learn from little to become better people. So I think that's the takeaway from today is, how do we use everything that we're discussing here and we continue to do it? How can we be consistent? How can we be better? Let's keep dreaming. Dream. Dreaming is the best thing. You need to dream when you're sleeping. I mean, as much as you need to dream when you're awake. have your dreams, have beautiful dreams, personal dreams, family dreams, professional dreams. You need to have dreams. Dreams are what keeps you excited, keeps you alive. And not only just have the dreams, though, have the dreams and work hard to achieve those dreams, work hard into doing all the things you need to do there. We discussed many times, and I did a seminar online yesterday with Real Estate Titans. I was invited, where I gave us an example that every successful person, no matter in what craft, I mean, and I gave an example, which is always fun to give examples of, athletes and sports, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. These are the guys that were working harder than anyone else. I mean, you need to develop that strength to be the person that works harder. You need to outwork your peers in order to outstand and be on top of that. So, people get, when you see Michael Jordan, when you see these guys that they get rewarded, and you're saying, "Oh man, he's so great. I wish I was as good as Michael Jordan," or whoever it is that I'm using just him as an example. But we're just looking at when he's been rewarded. We have not looked at all the hard work and the years of sacrifice that he had to go through to get rewarded that way, right? So we don't see that. And the reality is that no matter what you do and what kind of business are you have to put the work. It's massive, massive, massive amount of work. Smart work, not just work doing stuff that's not important. You need to organize yourself. I mean, let's be real, okay? Organize ourselves on what do we need to do? What are the things that really actually going to work? And then just put the hours. You need to put the work, you work smart, continue to have your dreams, your goals, and don't lose focus of that. And again, it has to have to be a rigid line. Sometimes you need to kind of go a little bit like this in your dreams to end up in where ultimately you want to be. So I think that's something that we need to keep doing it every day. I'm going to continue to do it, and I hope that a lot of you guys continue to do it. So don't stop dreaming. Don't lose your dreams. Some few notes here that I want to make sure that I cover all of them so we can part ways in a good way. When you commit to do something, that's something that is really important. It's very important for your self-esteem, and it's very important for your self-confidence. If you say you want to do something, you have to do it. Like if you said you're going to door knock as a real estate agent 50 doors today, you have to finish it, and you have to do it in a good way. Don't just door knock to go to the next one and finish as fast as you can, get in your car and get out of there. No, you need to do things in a certain way. That's what I learned from the book, The Science of Getting Rich, right? Which explains why is it that one ice cream shop owner is more successful than another one that is exactly next to him. And the reality is they have the same product, they have the same everything, but the guy on the left is more successful because he greets people happier, he's in a better place, he enhances this great energy, he puts music in his shop, he has flowers. I mean, whatever it is that makes that, when that person does all these things, the extra effort from a good place, happy to give people that vibration, that has a meaning that gets people to feel that attraction, and why they prefer to shop in there than the one next door that doesn't put the flowers, doesn't have music, just does a transaction, right? Give me the money, here's your ice cream, that's it. So when you do everything in life, if you do it in a certain way, and if you want to read that book, The Science of Getting Rich, is an unbelievable book. It's one of the books that changed my life. You will understand that there are laws in life that will help you go and navigate through it by just applying them and doing these things, okay? So if you commit to do something, finish it, do it. I spoke about this and we discussed many times that when you're done with your day and you do the things you're supposed to do, just go back, drive home feeling that you did 100% of what you need to do. You did everything you could have done. You might not, sold something, or you might not done or achieve that thing that you wanted yet, but what's going to happen is, by you subconsciously feeling that you did everything 100% that day, it might make it happen the next day or the day after, because you need to go feeling that way. So when you go to bed at night, subconsciously, or subconscious mind is going to give and send that feeling of achievement, that feeling of successful achievement, that you did what you needed to do, that you did your part, and now you're releasing it to the universe for the universe to bring that opportunity or that thing to happen. Okay. Um, you need to consciously dream about your future. So we talk about dreams, but this kind of connects with it. You know, you need to consciously make an effort to dream. I don't know if you experienced this before, but you've been having a great dream, and all of a sudden you get awakened and you're like, oh my God, I want to go back to that dream. I didn't want to wake up. I mean, the dream was so cool. I had those dreams before when I'm flying, and all of a sudden I wake up and I'm like, no, that was so great. I was jumping from building to building and flying like Superman, and it felt so good. But if you really like try to, you know, go back and focus on that dream again and think about what we were doing in the moment that you wake up, instead of thinking and getting bummed out and going to the bathroom or having a sip of water, just kind of try to get back into it and make an effort with your mind. Very often I go back to the exact same dream and I continue to have the dream. If you go to bed after you meditate and visualize, and you're visualizing where you want to be on this, very often you're going to have dreams about that thing that you visualize, whether it's a trip in a helicopter, a vacation in the Caribbean, or whatever it is that you're imagining, you will do that. So how do you apply that? And you need to apply it to when you're awake, right? Consciously, when you visualize or when you think about things, you need to think about what you want and what your dreams are, and you need to feel them like you know, and you have the certainty that they're going to happen. Okay. A lot of times in my life, when I was in places where they were very difficult, they were very challenging financially, emotionally. I mean, a lot of times, you know, you feel in bad spots. A lot of those times, what kept me going, what kept me focused, was that certainty that I knew that I was going to be where I am right now, for example. Okay. I have a beautiful wife, a family, kids, being able to bring my mother, who, you know, when I just moved here, my parents couldn't come for many years. You know, I mean, I think that my mom couldn't come for the first 6 years. They couldn't come for our wedding, and it was difficult. It was a difficult time, but you know, we couldn't make it happen at the time. And my dad couldn't come here for the first 10 years I lived in the United States. So then now I'm able to bring him here. Now that I'm able to get him to come and visit me. So those at the time was like so difficult. So how am I going to be able to get visas for them? How am I going to be able to do this? And it seems very hard, an uphill battle. But if you just override that by your thinking, by your being positive, by knowing, by focusing, by dreaming, by feeling it, and if you mix it with emotions, we discussed this many times, then you're going to have the ability to be in your dream and be like, wow, I was able to do that. And when you do that, your self-confidence, your discipline is going to increase tremendously, because you're going to know that actually works. You're going to know that you have control, that you are the master of your life, and you can really, really do whatever you set your mind, you know, set your mind onto. So when I also talk about something that sometimes is a little bit hard to swallow, something that, at least for me, it was a little bit hard to understand in the beginning when I was learning these concepts. We are where we are, and please don't take this in the wrong way. I'm just sharing again my personal opinion and idea on this. We are where we are right now because we drove ourselves to this place. Okay. Once you swallow that hard pill, because, you know, some people have harder lives than other ones. Some people had health issues or accidents or whatever is that happen. And I know it's hard to believe or to kind of agree to say, yes, right, I attracted myself an accident, or I attracted myself someone getting sick in my family, or I attracted myself whatever it is that is tough, right? But the reality is that, yes, we do attract everything that we have right now. We have taken a car and we've driven into a place where we are right now because we brought ourselves here. We brought ourselves here with the decisions we made, and we discuss about this. You shape your destiny by the decisions you make, good ones and bad ones. And sometimes consciously or subconsciously, we made the wrong decisions and we got to a place where we are right now. Once you accept that, and that you have the power to drive whatever you want, right? And I'm using the driving because it's a good, easy way to understand it. You jump in your car, and if you want to be in some place, just drive your car there. You know, the great news is that you have the ability to drive out of here. If you're in a place where you want to be, you have the ability to jump in that car and drive out of it, right? It's a decision away. You know, you are one decision away of changing the relationship, improving your relationship with your children, cutting that vice or addiction, having a healthier diet, going exercising, getting a new job and getting out of the horrible job that you don't enjoy and you're just miserable. You should not feel that way. You're one decision away of making that happen. Okay. So you have to understand the concept, and you need to realize that the good news is that you can at any time make that change at any time. And like Tony Robbins says, it takes 1 second to change that decision, change your mind, and go for whatever you want to go for. Okay. Because what happens is a lot of people are in a place, and like right now, you know, you start to become complacent. You know, you're in a place where you have a good job, you're making good money, but you want more, right? Especially for people that are ambitious like me. Yeah, but I want more, I want more, I want more. But the reality is, like, if you're not taking care of your finances, or you're not doing, you know, the right things, or you're using your position, your money, or whatever that you have at this point in the wrong way, the universe is not going to give you more because you're not knowing how to handle. So I wrote down something here that I heard the other day that says the universe has a principle of management. Okay. And that says, until you show that you can handle what you already have, you won't get any more. All right. Is like for those that have children, you know, that's a perfect example. If you take your kid and you give him something, or buy him something, or buy him a piano for him to learn how to play a piano, and he's committed and he wants to learn how to play piano, or she, and then all of a sudden they're not using it, they're not taking the classes, they're not putting the effort, they're not putting the work. As a parent, what are you going to do? You, when he comes and asks you for the guitar now, as much as you want to give it to him, if you give him the guitar, you setting that kid for failure, setting him up for failure, because you give the piano, that nothing happens, and you give him the guitar, and then you're going to end up having all the instruments in your house and no one's going to be able to play anything. So it's kind of like the same concept, you know, God and the universe, your higher self, or any belief that you have, will give you more when they see that you're handling. First of all, you need to be grateful, right? It's like your kid. If your kids are very grateful when you give, you want to give them more, right? Anyone that you give something and they're very grateful and they come to you, you're just happier to give them more. So the universe, God, your higher self is the same way, right? You will get more when you're handling yourself better, you know? I mean, for those Christians, even the Bible says, you know, to he who have more shall we given, you know? So you have, you ask, and you're going to get more, but you have to appreciate, you need to be grateful, you need to use it in the right way. So then you can show that you can handle what you already have. And that's when many times I say, if you cannot be happy where you are right now, pretty much you won't be happy having the millions that you thinking that you can have, or having the things that you want to have. So if you can be happy now from this point where you are right now, then you'll be happy with more, less, or whatever, you know? So let's learn how to be happy with what we have. Let's learn how to be appreciative of what we have. And then from that point, we're going to be rewarded with more and with the things that we want in our goals and our future. Okay. One of the things that I practice a lot, and the whole point of doing this and discussing about all the exercises from, you know, visualizing, meditating, incantations, repetition, speak to yourself loudly, record yourself saying things positives, and then hearing over and over again when you're running, when you're exercising, or you're biking, or whatever, is because you need to create mental strength. Because from mental strength is going to come all the other strengths, right? Physical, emotional. If you have a very strong mental strength, then you'll be able to have strong body. You'll be able to have a strong emotional system. All starts here in the mind, which is the one thing we can control. So don't forget that. So like, let's just use that. example, I work I work out. I go to the gym five times a week, and I love exercising. And one of the things I learned through the years of going to the gym is your muscle doesn't really break and start the growth process until it starts hurting. So when you go and sit and you do 8 to 10 reps, for example, and you do it, if you do 10 to 12, those extra 2 or 3 sets, and everybody knows this, I'm just repeating what I heard 1,000 times, okay? Those are the extra reps that count, the extra reps that count. For those that watch The Last Dance with Michael Jordan, there's a moment where he felt that he was being, push around more, and he needed to build up his muscle because he was very skinny. So he was a great, amazing player, but he was being out-muscled by other bigger players in other teams. So at a point in time, he decides to go and work out. He decides to go and put some muscle. So he's got this guy, Tim Grover, who is his personal trainer, who is amazing. And I told you guys that you should read his book, Relentless, where he explains in detail how he trained Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Dwayne Wade, all these great players. And it's all in the mind, right? So he decided to put more muscle, and he explains in this TV show and says, you tell Michael, give me 12, and he'll give me 16. But that's what made the difference, is that extra work, is that extra sacrifice, is that pain, that's what makes and sets the difference between the average people and the successful people. So that was an example. Let's go back to decisions, and I love to talk about decisions because it's a very simple thing, right? You make decisions every day. I make decision of having this cup of tea right now, right? So when you make the decisions that are easy, and when I say I think this before, I heard it, I just love it. If you do what's easy today, your life will be harder down the road. But if you take the hard decisions, the ones that, because your mind's trying to sabotage you all the time. It's trying to every decision, whether it's easy or hard, to just kind of sabotage you and out, walk you out of it. Like when I went with James to the beach, I told him, I said, look, as we start getting to the beach, every single thing out there that your mind's going to be able to find as excuse for you not to get in the water is going to come up, and it's going to be in your face. And you need to have the ability to overcome that and tell your mind and yourself that you are the boss and you're going to jump in that cold water. And I gave the example that he called me the night before and started asking me if there are sharks, if the fish are going to touch our legs. He asked me if I'd done this before. He showed up here in the morning, and it was a little overcast like right now, and like you get a little bit of the mist of the ocean because I live very close to the ocean. And he's like, it's raining. I'm like, dude, this is not rain. It's like a humidity. And then he asked me the night before if there's a lot of fish, if people go fishing in there. And honestly, I talk about this, but it's just so funny. It's worth to repeat it. I've never seen anyone fishing in that specific area that I go very close here to my house. Never. I've seen surfers, paddleboarders, swimmers, never seen anyone fishing. Guess what happens? We go on a run, we come back, we're about to approach the beach, and he didn't notice, thank God, because I psyched him up. But then I look, and literally where we're about to jump the water, there's a guy fishing. Why? Because he's been tested. He's been tested, instead of be sunny, it was overcast. There was a fisherman there, all these things. So that's what happens with your brain. It starts like finding ways in what the reality is and your perception that will make you want to back out of what you decided to do. But you need to overcome that. And that's why it's a great thing to do, the jumping in the ocean as an example. And it can be many things, Tony Robbins makes you walk on fire, on hot coals. That's just a symbol, a symbology of like you are able to overcome your fears. And so when you do that, there is a very strong meaning in the subconscious mind that's, that you do whatever you decide you're going to do. And then you command this. And the universe, when it sees that you made that decision, it gets out of your way. When you make the decision that you're going to do something and you're going to achieve something and you're going to, whatever it is, and you really mean it, then everything's going to come into place. You're going to get that phone call from someone. You're going to meet the right person through one of your friends. You're going to be sitting in a place where you're going to hear someone talking about something that you were waiting to hear. Those opportunities, everything, it just comes into place, okay? So we're almost done. Before we finish here, I want to talk about a couple more things. It's 10:31, and in about 5 minutes we'll open it up for questions. Hopefully you have a lot of questions to close this chapter. So there are 6 basic human needs that Tony Robbins talks about, and I love this. You know, the 6 human needs that Tony discuss are, we all humans have these needs, like the need for certainty, right? And the need with certainty goes holding hands with the need of uncertainty. So in your life, you need to have some sort of certainty. People have more than other ones. And this is where he makes you do an exercise with, like, what is it that you have more out of these needs? You know, some people need a lot of certainty. They just want to know how everything's going to work out, what their job is going to be, how much they're going to make, how their life's pretty much going to be planned. They need that certainty to feel good, right? But the reality is that you need also uncertainty. How boring would be if you knew exactly what's going to happen in your life. If you knew, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and in 3 years I'm going to have that, and in 4 years this is going to happen, and this is, then it wouldn't make any sense. So you need also a need for uncertainty. Then there is a need of significance. Everybody wants to feel that, you know, they have that need fulfilled, right? And he gives an example. If you need significance in your life, instead of doing things that, because there's ways how to get certainty, uncertainty, and there's ways how to get significance and all these needs in positive and negative ways, right? A lot of people, they want to have the need of significance fulfilled by doing drugs, by doing things that gets people attention, by, you know, punching someone in the face. I don't know. There's a lot of things that you can negatively attract attention and significance, because if you do that, then you get the attention, whether it's positive or negative. And this is something that I tell my kids sometimes, because, you know, kids, they're learning stuff and they do, like, you know, we're having dinner and they start like being loud or doing, you know, one of the kids talking about a story and the other one wants the attention. So they do something that gets your attention, but it gets your attention in a negative way. So there are ways how to get significance in negative ways, and there is ways how to get significance in positive ways, you know? So you need to find how you do that. And then there is a need of love or connection. That's the number 4. Everybody wants to feel love. Everybody wants to feel connected, right? Everybody wants to feel that someone loves you. And that kind of goes holding hands with significance, you know? And Tony gives an example. If you feel like you want significance, don't do drugs, buy a dog. Dogs are amazing. When is that you come back home that your dog doesn't greet you happy moving the tail? I mean, they're just happy to see you, whether you left for a month or you went to the grocery store and you come back and they greet you the same way, right? So you feel good about it. You're happy. You see a little puppy or dog, and that gives you, you know, there's ways how to start like feeling also that way. But the ones that I wanted to talk right now are the 2 last human needs that Tony Robbins explains, which is basically work on yourself, right? Those other basic needs are great, but the ones that really get you to grow are the, you know, the certainty, uncertainty, significance, and love and connection are personal needs that we all have. Now, there are 2 that are spiritual, the spirit needs, what your spirit needs for you to really grow, how you should grow. And those are the needs of growth and contribution, okay? And when we talk about growth, which is what we've been talking about this whole time, grow yourself, right? You need to continue learning. You need to continue reading. You need to continue working out. You need to continue exercising. You need to continue growing. The moment you stop growing, you start dying. So if you have a commitment to continue to grow, your spirit will be stronger. You will feel better. You will understand a lot more things, and you'll be fulfilled in a much better way spiritually. And then they need the contribution, you know, a contribution as a what? As a giving, as a, and he also says the secret of living is giving. I mean, how beautiful is to give to people, to change lives, to contribute in any way, you know? I mean, contribute by helping people, contribute by coaching people, contribute by being supportive to a friend, contribute to helping your kid how to ride a bike, contribute the world by, you know, donating money to some good cause that you like. There is so many ways to contribute. When you give back, then you get a spiritual fulfillment too that is going to get you to a different place. So, you know, um, because I read something that really, really like touched me in a very deep way. And this is how we're going to finish this. And this is, hopefully, if you have a pen, write it down. It's a very, very strong statement. And it says, if your achievements outgrow your sense of self, you will unconsciously engage into self-destructive behavior. If your achievements of wanting to be this or wanting to have that money or wanting to have that car, that house, if all the achievements that you look in life, which is nothing wrong with it, by the way, but if your achievements, outgrow your sense of self, and that's why I talk about all the human needs, because your spirit needs growth. And in order to grow, you need to grow spiritually, and you need to grow then what really means and what's life, to learn more, to become better, right? Better person, a better father, a better husband, a better friend, a better realtor, a better human. Go plant trees, go donate money, go clean the beach one day. If you don't do those things that they're gonna make you feel as a human being better, and you're just focusing on achievements and trophies and money and cars and all that kind of stuff, then you're gonna start engaging in self-destructive, behaviors, drinking, drugs, becoming a different person that you were, arrogant, all those things. You don't want that to happen, but that will happen. So this is why it's so important. That's how I want to finish here, is really don't forget to focus on your spiritual growth. Don't forget to focus on growing as a person in every level that you can grow as a person, as an individual. And you have a great time with life. It'll be a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with my life, and I continue to learn, and I continue to grow, and I continue to do all these things, because it's a constant reminder, it's a constant work. It is not the way to figure it out and be set and be comfortable. It's every day, it's every week, it's every year, it's every time a new challenge comes, something new. Just go back to this. I hope you took a lot of notes, and we can review them when you need to review them. Now let's open up for some questions. All right, let's start with the Instagram questions. Okay. Yeah, someone said, please save Lee's life. He's going to be live. He's going to be uploaded a little later on YouTube. Okay, here's a question. Paige Torkan. Hey, Paige, how are you? What do you do now that the gyms are closed? I've been doing a lot of stuff. I've been running. I've been riding my bike. I've been riding my bike with my kids. I've been exercising in the house. I have, a few weights and a few cables. Griffin, who works with me in my office, has set up a little gym in his garage, and I brought some stuff in there, and sometimes we work together. You need to find ways how to do, you can just get active. You don't necessarily need a gym. I mean, the gym is a facilitator, but you can do just about anything. I mean, today you can just go on YouTube and literally put workout home or something, and there'll be a lot of examples on how to do that. But being outdoors is one of my favorite things, so I do a lot of that. Yeah, same in the Quran too. It says that God says, be grateful and I'll give you more. Yeah, exactly. I mean, these concepts are everywhere on all those books, and ancient books. Okay, next question. This is a real estate related question. It says, did you start with selling luxury homes? No, I did not start selling luxury homes. I actually started, my first sale was a condo here in West Hollywood in Los Angeles that I sold for $450,000 or $449,000, I think, from a coworker at the restaurant that I was working. There was another waiter from Australia. His name was Mick. Him and his wife, Stephanie. were moving back to Australia, and they were aware that I was also struggling real estate agent, and they gave me the opportunity to lease their condo, and that was my first sale. And of course, you start low, and then you know, I mean, nothing wrong with selling condos. I mean, I know guys here in Los Angeles, they're incredibly successful on condos. Obviously, they need to do a lot more volume, but they are big producers that make over $1 million and selling condos. So uh, I decided to go in the luxury market. That was a personal choice, but it takes time to get there. You can't just jump into selling those big houses. People want the experience. Will you continue to do this type of videos? Yes, Daniel, I will. I'm trying to set up next webinar. I'm also talking to a few people about doing a podcast. So more to come for sure. And thank you for that. Makes me very happy that you enjoyed it. Cambonita. How do you get over the overwhelming feeling when you have a huge project or a long list of to-dos? Well, that's very simple. William Campbell say you just need to take the first step, right? So you need to do one step at a time. You know, if you have a long list of things to do and you're feeling overwhelmed, don't focus or look at a big list. Just focus on what's the first step and take the first step and then take the next one and take the next one and take the next one and take the next one. It's like if you're driving cross country in your car and you get to a point where there's no lights, right? And all you have is the headlights from your car. The headlights of your car doesn't give you light all the way to your destination. If you're going from, let's say, LA to New York, you won't be able to turn on your car and see Times Square. All you need to see is the few half a mile or whatever I don't even know how long these car lights go. And then you just, as you advance, it will continue to give you light for what you need. So that's what you need to do. How do you dress? Who is this? Werner Von Boris. How do you dress an open house or listing appointment? Could you please give me some tips on how to convert open house prospects in your clients? Thank you. Truly admire you. You rock. Oh, thanks so much, man. One of the things that I think you need to think is that when you're sitting an open house, again, it's not what you do, it's how you do it, right? So when I sit an open house, I bring a little speaker to create some ambience music. Or if the house has a smart system, which most houses have now, then you use that. Bring some flowers, bring a candle, bring something that will get those people when they walk in, smell better, smells good, the music's nice. Don't put obnoxious music, of course, put something nice in the background, not too loud, so they don't feel like you're hiding some noise. And is wake up and psych yourself in the morning, go and exercise, do some sort of physiologic change in your body that gets the blood flowing and the oxygen, is going to release those endorphins and make you feel good. So when you see that open house and you go and introduce yourself to that person, is the best version of yourself. So they will pick up on that and they will feel good about it. Now, doesn't mean that you're going to go and see an open house and from that open house, I picked up 4 new clients and I'm going to sell 4 new houses. You got to understand that you're going to pick up leads. And yes, sometimes I sold house on the spot, or I picked up someone and I sold them another house the next day. It will happen, but don't just expect that that's always going to happen. I think what you need to do is have the expectancy that you're going to be exposed to more people, and the more people you're exposed, the more opportunities are going to come. And down the road, sometimes I met someone and then 3 years later I sold them a house, but I think it's your attitude and the way how you present yourself is going to make a big difference. And yes, if you're talking about dressing, because I'm not sure about dress code, you wanna dress professional. You don't want to go and sit an open house with shorts and flip flops, because I mean, again, you can do whatever you want, but I personally always dress professionally. I didn't dress with a suit for open houses unless I have a big open house for a big house on a Tuesday or on an event. But you need to dress nice, put a nice button-down shirt and a nice pair of trousers or something. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you. Very beautiful comments. Appreciate everybody. Danny Brown. He's making fun of me. He says, what is the real secret, Santi? Not the BS. And he laughs. I love you too, man. One time I was, I think, speaking at a seminar, and Danny Brown, who used to work with us, was there. And they're always people that after I talk or something, they raise their hand and they're like, okay, that was great, but can you tell us the real secret? So that's why he's asking that question. I thought it was funny to mention it. Melissa Salazar, how do you organize all the emails you receive? I get so many and I have 2 accounts. Um, you know, there's no way around that one. You just need to, I mean, and especially you get the majority of the emails, it's trash, and you get bombarded with like advertising and stuff. So one of the things that I do, and my assistant helps me, is like try to delete or unsubscribe of things that your email is being sold somewhere. So try to unsubscribe out of that. I glance through emails and I see what are the ones that need more attention. I open those ones and I leave the other ones unread. But the reality is that you just got to go through it. You need to wake up in the morning and, once you sit down on your computer after you've done all the things that we learn here, meditate, visualize, exercise, and all that, give your time that hour of power, then you need to just go through it. You need to read the emails. You need to go back to the emails. I mean, I get a ton of emails too, but I figured out how to go and respond all of them. So I'm sure you will be able to do that. Um, how do you start? This is a very good question, Clara Katie. How do you start successful network with honest and faithful people? That's really up to you. So in the beginning of my career, I didn't know anyone. So you just meet anyone and you try to sell or turn every single lead or every person you know into a sale. You get the point in your life, if you're really looking for that quality people, if you're really looking for those nice people that you want to be surrounded and dealing with, you need to make that choice. At a point in my life, I made a choice to, not to work with people that were draining my energy. There were some clients that I was working with that they just were, I don't want to give specifics, but it was just not people that, every time I looked at my phone and I saw that name, it made me feel in a way that I wasn't happy. So at a point in time, I chose to, keep working with the people that I felt good about it. And of course, you need to be in a place in your career where you have the ability and the luxury to do that. But in order to create that database that you want with honest, good people, you basically need to fire the people that are not honest and you don't like. And from that place, you're going to be in such a great state that you're going to actually attract and starting to attract the people that you want to be dealing with. How to get your clients as a new agent and your first sale. I mean, again, my first sale was I was a waiter through another waiter that gave me his house. You just need to put yourself out there, and everybody's started somewhere. I think you just need to be honest with yourself and honest with people that you're starting. You do not have the 20 sales in your website or the experience, but if you can convey to people that you have prepared yourself and you understand your job and what you're doing, or if you can find a mentor that can come and back you up, that client will feel comfortable saying, I like Santiago. Seems nice, but he doesn't have the experience, but he's bringing this guy, Rodrigo, who was my first mentor, that he's got all the experience in the world. So I feel good because I like working with Santiago. I like the way he is and how he responds, but I'm going to have also the experience of this other bigger agent. And I'm going to feel good about it. And then you just maybe split that with your first deals with someone that will give you that support for a client to feel more confident about giving it to you. And you just got to start somewhere, and then you're going to sell 1, 2, 3, 4 houses. Now all of a sudden you have the experience, and then you need to relay that to clients. But in order to do that, you need to know your market, you need to have confidence, you need to understand the comps, you need to know everything, right? So when you sit and talk to that person, they can know that you're knowledgeable. You're new, but you study and you prepare yourself. Okay, that's all Instagram so far. Let me see what we have in Zoom here if I have questions. Okay, Mario, how are you approaching talking to kids about racism and protests going on? I mean, you just gotta talk the truth, and you gotta. There's different movies I mentioned last time that you can help them to watch because they don't understand, right? They're born right now, and they don't know how all this stuff started. So there are movies that I've been watching with my kids, like one was called The Titans, or something about that I mentioned last time, about football. a real life story of a football team that they had a coach that was Afro American, and you just kind of see that. A really good one is like a movie about the baseball player Jackie Robbins. That's a great one. You can see in there. There's another movie that I saw a couple years ago about a musician. Um, what is it called? This piano player, amazing, travels the country. So I think through movies, kids get to understand the unfairness of what happened in the past and how much better we become. Yes, we're not where we should be right now, but I think that's a way how to talk to kids, and it depends what the age of the kids is. You just need to be honest and talk the truth about them and teach them that we're all one race. We're the human race. Um, Anonymous attendee, what's your morning routine? What are your rituals? Thanks. I'd love to answer that, but we covered that 100 times. Go back into my YouTube channel and you'll see exactly what I do. I already spoke about this, and we only have 8 more minutes, so I want to cover other questions that I haven't covered yet. But if you go to my YouTube, Santiago Arana official YouTube channel, and you go to the first episodes, and I cover in there exactly what I do step by step. Marcelo Monasi, congrats on being number 7 in Real Trends. Great achievement. If you would have to start your career as a new agent and a new market, where you allocate the most time and budget in terms of prospecting and marketing, or what worked for you when you started? Okay, I'll be brief on this one because I also covered this before. Thank you for the congratulations, but I'm number 8 actually. I was 7 last year, now I went to 8, but I'm very grateful for it. For me, what's worked the most is open houses and door knocking. So that's where I would put my energy and my time. Let me go back now to Instagram because we have a lot more questions in there. She's asking what CRM and follow-up system do you use? I mean, at the agency, we have developed our own CRM system. It's incredible. That's what I use. Thank you for all these weeks of advice. How has growing up in Bolivia and being an immigrant inspire you? How do you deal with setbacks? Thanks, Kay Brooks. Being from Bolivia, being an immigrant and coming to a new country, mainly it was a little difficult for me for the fact that I didn't know anyone and I didn't speak any English. Those were my only 2 things. But once I learned the language and I started meeting people, I never felt of being an immigrant. I never felt of being Bolivian. I never felt like, even now, not speaking a perfect English, it was a setback for me. I always focus on what I can deliver and what is the message I was trying to come across, and people understood that and felt that way, and that was never a setback. So I meet people and I talk sometimes, and they're, a lot of Latinos feel like, because I'm Latino, they feel like because you are Latino, you have a setback, but I don't think that you think that way. I don't feel that way. How, Cecil Nicole, how do you overcome fear? That's also something that we cover. Go in the YouTube channel and go to the episode that talks about fear, and that's covered beautifully in there. Oh, thank you. You're a gift to the world. That's amazing. That made my day. How do you become a real estate agent around different parts of the world and become successful in different cities? I don't know that because I haven't done it. So I don't want to tell you something that I haven't done. To become a real successful real estate agent all over the world, I think is going to be tricky. I think you need to master an area. I think you need to focus in one place. I'm not saying that it's not possible. I just don't know how to do it. I haven't done it. So I can't answer that, unfortunately. Sorry. Let's see what else we have. Johnny Lara, Costa Rica. Hey, how are you, Johnny? He's asking in Spanish, ¿cómo haces para competir en un mercado donde no hay exclusividad? So he's basically saying, and I hope you speak English, and if not, I'll try to answer in both languages. So how do you compete in a market that you don't have exclusivity? Here in Los Angeles and most of the United States, you get an exclusive listing, you're representing that seller, no matter who buys it, you're going to get paid a commission. Okay, so that's what he means. So when there is no exclusivity, you just got to work harder. You just need to hustle more. You need to find the opportunities. You need to find the clients, and you need to make those deals happen. Yeah, it's nicer to have a contract that covers you, so you don't have to worry about it. But if you don't have a contract, it's nothing different than having a pocket listing, right? Knowing someone has a pocket listing and says, hey, I have this house, I don't want to put it in the market, I don't want to sign anything, but if you bring me a buyer, I'll sell it. That's basically it. So, en Spanish, si no tienes exclusividad, tienes que trabajar un poco más duro, tienes que básicamente encontrar, si conoces a alguien que quiere vender su casa, tienes que salir afuera a hablar y a conocer gente y tratar de traer al comprador. Si tienes un comprador que está trabajando con otros agentes, tienes que encontrar la propiedad y esforzarte a traer eso, ¿no? Eso es lo que va a hacer la diferencia y hacer el sell, la venta. Okay, so here's someone saying in Miami it's impossible to door knock luxury homes. Yeah, here it's hard too. I mean, you can go in a gated community to door knock. You can go door knocking really in Bel Air. It's dangerous. You don't have sidewalks and stuff like that. So why don't you just pick an area that you can door knock and start there and build up a name and build up a career, and eventually you won't need to door knock and into the super luxury houses. But by building a name and making sales and doing in another area that is easier to door knock, you will get people to know your name, to want to call you and give you those big higher end homes. All right, so we have 3 more minutes. Want to see if there's one more question here, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, someone is asking, what made you decide to work in luxury real estate? When do you find the courage to know you can make it? You won't, I mean, when I decided, when I started and I saw how the business worked, I said that I would like to be selling the luxury homes, and that's what I wanted to focus on. So it was a decision that I made. And how do I find the confidence to know that I was going to make it? You never know you're going to make it or not. You just need to jump in the water and start swimming. You need to have the confidence, know that you're going to make it, and just go through all the exercises and everything that we discuss in here to go for it. Okay. So thank you, everybody. This has been so much fun these last few weeks that I enjoy doing this. I really feel like I've been hanging out with a bunch of people. I'm going to miss you, but it won't be for long. I'm going to just kind of go and organize myself and keep following me on Instagram and go into the YouTube channel. I will advise you to review. There's a lot of videos in there that can help you. And we'll see you soon. We'll come back. I'll announce through those channels on when we're going to come back with a new webinar. Love to everyone. Keep doing this.